So let's take as an intention today just feeling sensation in the body. Because when you're tuned into how your body feels, then you can make good decisions about what you want to do with your body. Whereas if you're not feeling what's going on, it's much harder to orientate yourself in the world and to know how you feel and what you want. What do you want to do, what you want to not do, and navigate the complex world that we live in. You're going to start lying on the floor with a folded up blanket. You want to fold it up so it's about that size. And so it's got one hard edge along it. And then you'll lie on this blanket with the bottom of your shoulder blades on that blanket. So the top pointy edge of the blanket is kind of at the base of the shoulder blades, around where the bra line is. So you're actually in a mini back bend here. Feeling for there being a gentle opening around the chest. Tuning into the breath. And tuning into physical sensation. As you rest here, allow your weight to drop towards the floor. Allow your arms to be heavy. Maybe rest the knees inwards against each other. Feeling your breath. Feeling your body. Nothing else to do but breathe. And just be here in this moment, noticing sensation. Close your eyes so you're really approaching this with your feeling sense, not your looking sense. The world we live in is very visual. We're very tuned into the visual. It's also good to be with feeling. For me, this is one of the most effective ways of stepping out of thinking. Because it's really easy to identify ourselves with thinking and thoughts. We're kind of taught to do that. But we have this whole other realm of perception that isn't thinking. And figuring out how to feel. And just be 100% in feeling sensation. is really important because that's the language of our body. And the more we're able to switch into feeling, the more we're able to be congruent within ourselves. So the more we're able to, on all levels, know where we're at and feel in integrity. And make choices in life that feel in integrity. Thoughts are important too, but often people are underdeveloped in feeling. We're not taught it so much. And physical sensation is a great place to start. And there are lots of different ways to track physical sensation. So, warmth or cold. What temperature do you feel? Then you could work with, say, whether things feel tight or things feel relaxed. And you'll get different feelings in different parts of the body. So scan through now and notice where feels tight, where feels relaxed. And there can also be qualities of movement or stillness. So whether you just feel really still inside, or whether some places are fluttering or flickering or shaking, vibrating. Noticing qualities of movement or stillness. Then come out of this, roll onto one side and sit up. If you want to sit on a block or a cushion or a blanket, you could do that. And we'll do some seated warm-ups. And as we go through the practice, continue to be with that sense of tracking physical sensation. And sometimes that can be really helpful in informing us how we want to do the practice. Because actually, if you suddenly notice the body and go, wow, my right hip really hurts, maybe change the pose. Maybe do it a bit differently. Modify it. Or if something feels like super intense and too much sensation, make it easier or come out of the pose. Or if you're kind of just feeling, well, I want to feel more in this pose or make it more intense, feel free to make changes and change things up and down to suit you. Let's do a breathing exercise now in knee pile or half knee pile. Let's have the left leg crossed over on top. If you're doing full knee pile, the right leg is sort of bent around to the other side. If that does not work for your hips, You could have your bottom leg straight, doing half knee pile. Great, so half knee pile or knee pile. Let's do 2 rounds of alternate nostril breathing. Starting with the left hand, bring your index and middle finger in towards the palm, and then you're using the thumb and the ring finger to alternately close nostrils. Shut your right nostril and take a long inhale through the left nostril. Hold the breath, closing both nostrils, using the thumb and the index finger to do that. Thumb and ring finger. Open your right nostril and exhale. Inhale through right nostril. Hold the breath, closing both nostrils. Relax inside. Notice physical sensation. Open the left nostril, exhale. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Do one more complete round. Inhaling left, holding, exhaling right. Inhale right, hold, exhale left. So inhale left to start. Tracking physical sensation. What does the air feel like as it moves through your nostrils? Once you've exhaled through the left, then cross the legs over the other way. Either doing full knee pile or half knee pile with the bottom leg straight. Let's do 3 rounds on this side with the right hand this time. I'll talk you through 1 round and then you can do 2 on your own. Inhale right. Hold the breath. Softening inside. Exhale through left. Inhale left. Hold the breath, tracking physical sensation throughout this. Exhale right. That was 1 round. Do 2 rounds, 2 more rounds, starting by inhaling through the right nostril. Finishing next time you exhale on the right nostril. And then we'll do a couple of side bends. Have your right leg straight and out to the side. Now, if you can, bend the left knee and have the left heel next to your hip. If that does not feel okay in your hips, or if it pulls on the knee, a better alternative for you will be to bring that left heel in front of the groin. So this is totally fine as well. Only do that if that feels okay in the knee and the hip. Inhale and lift the right arm up. Exhale, lean towards the leg and rest the hand to the inside of the leg. Inhale, reach the other arm out to the side at a low angle. Exhale, relax the right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhale, filling up the torso with air. Exhale, relax the right ear towards the right shoulder. Track the pattern of sensation that you feel around the neck and around the shoulder. Feel for relaxing some of the tension there. Also noticing whether that tightness links into other areas. Like right now, I can feel the side of my neck, but I can also feel the side of my forehead too. Second position here is more of a twist. Take your left hand and wrap it behind the back. Hold on to your clothing. Inhale, lift the chest up a little. Exhale, move the left shoulder back and the right shoulder forward, coming into a twist, and then maybe come a little lower down again, also relaxing the head to the side. Tracking how this pose is subtly different. Maybe some things are the same, maybe some things are different. Noticing warmth or coolness. Whether things feel tight or open. Whether you feel kind of stillness or subtle movement. Last thing on this side, release the hand from behind the back, take the hand higher up, and then take the hand back a little in order to stretch out the chest. Keep the head relaxing to the side, and play around with the angle of this, and maybe even bending the elbow to feel if you can get an opening here on the front of the shoulder. Okay, bring that arm down, and then take the hand that's on the floor, help your head to come upright again. And then change the legs over. Left leg straight out to the side, working with either heel next to the butt, if that feels okay in your knee and hip, or if not, heel in front of groin. So first we were just focusing on a neck release. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, lean towards the leg. Bring the hand to the inside of the leg. Inhale, reach the other arm out to the side. Exhale, relax left ear towards left shoulder. Inhale, lift the chest up just a little bit. Exhale, keep relaxing the neck to the side. Sometimes when we come to practice, we feel the tension that we've not been feeling all day. And before we can disperse it and let it go, we have to feel it. And sometimes that's feeling it in layers and feeling it bit by bit. It's not like a one-time push the button and it's gone thing. It's a slow process of letting go. Twist. Inhale and wrap the right arm behind the back. Lift the chest up a little bit. Exhale, take the right shoulder back, left shoulder forwards. So you're in a twist here. And then lean down towards the straight leg again. Making each breath massive. To really soothe your nervous system. Like a deep breath, but an easy deep breath. Perhaps noticing the subtle shifts in sensation that occur through the arc of the breath. Then chest opener. Take the right arm up in the air. Inhale, stretch out the fingers. Exhale, take the hand back. Going for getting a stretch around the chest area. Modifying the angle of the arm or bending the arm, if that feels helpful. Continuing to let go in the neck. Bring the arm down, and then use the hand that's on the floor to pick your head up. Great. Let's do some abdominal work now. We will start off with dipping frog, and then we're going to do scissors straddle. Now, for dipping frog, you don't need any props, but for scissors straddle, I'd quite like you to have your hips up on a bit of height. So if you've got something like a yoga block or two, you could use that. If you've not got any yoga blocks, you could maybe stack up some blankets or cushions, so you've got a bit of height that you can rest the hips on with that. So have whatever prop you're going to use nearby to you, but you won't need it for dipping frog. If you've never worked with dipping frog before, watch the first round, like the first three breaths, and then join in. So lie down on your back and lift your feet up off the floor. Have your knees bent to a right angle. Inhale and rotate the front of the left thigh in, so the left foot moves wider out to the side. The knee is still quite towards the middle. Exhale, press the lower back down. Press the back lower ribs down too. And move the foot in the direction of the floor. You might only go a couple of centimeters, a couple of inches if you're new to this. Inhale, leg comes back up to where it was. Front of the right thigh rotates inwards. Press the lower back ribs down. Exhale, move the right foot towards the floor. Now, I want you to keep the lower back ribs pressing down, and the foot might not go that far for this. If you're new to these, that's totally fine. Inhale, leg comes back up. Third breath, you're doing frog. Knees are wide, feet are wide. Exhale, curl your pubic bone towards your belly button, shortening the distance between the pubic bone and the belly button. Inhale, knees back to the middle. Rotate the front of the right thigh inwards. Exhale, press lower back ribs down. Move your right foot towards the floor. Doesn't necessarily go all the way. Inhale, leg comes back up. Rotate the front of the left thigh inwards. Exhale, left foot moves towards the ground. Keep the lower back ribs pressing down. Inhale, leg comes back up. Knees and feet out to the side into frog. Exhale, curl pubic bone towards the belly button. Reach the inner thighs out to the side. Inhale, knees back to the middle. If you've not started to do this, join us for the next 2 rounds. Rotate the front left thigh inwards. Exhale, lower back ribs press down. Left foot moves towards the floor. Keep the lower back ribs down. Feel the belly. Inhale, leg comes back up. Rotate the front right thigh inwards. Exhale, move the right heel towards the ground. Press the lower back ribs down. Noticing subtle sensation of this. Inhale, leg comes back up. Now bring the knees and feet out into frog. Exhale, curl pubic bone towards the belly button. Inhale, knees back together. Last round. Rotate the front of the right thigh in. Exhale, press lower back ribs down. Move the heel towards the floor. Inhale, leg comes back up. Rotate the front of the left thigh inwards. Exhale, lower back ribs press down. Left heel moves towards the ground. Inhale, leg comes back up. Knees and feet out into frog. Exhale, curl the pubic bone towards the belly button. Inhale, bring the knees back together. Exhale, bring the feet down to the floor. Now find either your stack of blankets or a yoga block and put them underneath the back of the hips. So, and just kind of, it doesn't need to be too high, just a little bit of height, like say, I don't know, 4 to 6 inches, something like that. And make sure you feel level and comfortable with your hips. And then you'll be taking the legs straight up in the air. Great. If you're not sure on this one, watch the first round and then join in. Scissors straddle. Inhale and activate your feet. Spread the toes out. Exhale, move your left foot forwards. You move your left foot like away from the left shoulder, forwards, and then just a few inches, and then move your right leg towards the right shoulder. Inhale, both legs come back up. Exhale, move the right leg forwards, so like away from your right shoulder. Left leg moves towards the left shoulder. You can bend the leg that's coming towards you a little bit if you want. Inhale, both legs come straight up in the air. Third one, take both legs out to the side. Exhale, curl pubic bone to navel again. Inhale, legs back together. Exhale, take the right leg away from the chest, left leg towards the chest. Inhale, legs come straight up. Exhale, left leg away from the chest, right leg towards the chest. Inhale, legs come back up, and then out to the sides into straddle. Exhale, curl the pubic bone towards your belly button. Stretching the legs out to the side at the same time. Inhale, legs come back together. Exhale, left leg moves forwards, right leg moves towards right shoulder. Inhale, both legs straight. Exhale, other way. Inhale, both legs up towards the ceiling, and then out to the side into straddle. Exhale, curl the pubic bone towards the belly button. Inhale, legs come back together. Do one more round, just on your own. Once you're done, bring the feet together, bend the knees, and bring the feet to the floor. Hang out in a relaxed bridge with the hips still supported on the block or the blankets. Close your eyes and notice any physical sensation that draws itself to your attention. Warmth or cold, a sense of movement or stillness. Whether things feel tight or open. There are other parameters you could pick to track as well. Partly this is about building an internal language to talk about sensation. So for example, if you often feel pain, sometimes it can just be like pain, everything is pain. But maybe there are differences. Maybe there are differences between sort of a bit of a stretch or like something that feels grinding or something that feels just kind of a light pain or something that feels like a deep pain or a nerve pain or a muscle pain or a fast pain or a slow pain. Like just even thinking about pain, there's so much difference in sensations that we could have. So some of this is about creating an internal language for yourself so you know, oh yeah, this is the thing I often feel in my knee. Or today I feel something unusual in my shoulder. What is it? Oh, it's kind of like a spider. Like allowing yourself to develop whatever language works for you. And even though I'm talking in English, you can talk to yourself in Welsh or Spanish or whatever language comes most naturally to you will probably be the language you talk to your body in. Whatever's your childhood language. Even if you speak many languages as an adult. Okay, so come off your support, and then come onto your hands and knees. I'm just rescuing my microphone, which has got really astray. So come onto the hands and knees. Let's work with dolphin next. And dolphin is definitely one of those poses where we can find sensation. So let's do dolphin with the elbows on the floor. If your shoulders feel okay today, try this with the forearms parallel. If the shoulders feel kind of a bit tricky, I would say do this with the hands clasped. Either way, you want your elbows a little narrower than the shoulders. One way to get that is to hold onto your upper arms with the hands, kind of hold on right around the upper arm, and then whatever distance your elbows are at, keep that distance, and then set the arms up. Inhale, press the whole forearm into the floor and relax the head forwards. Exhale, tuck the toes under and lift up into dolphin. Let's stay here for 10 breaths. And I want you to notice any internal sensation. Feel free to come out of it if that's what feels best for you right now. But for the next 10 breaths, I want you to be really aware of physical sensation. If you've already got to 10 breaths, take 3 more really long ones. Coming out whenever you need to. And then when you're done with dolphin, come into child's pose. Bringing your arms alongside your thighs and resting your forehead either on the floor or on a blanket or block. Noticing the sensations that arise here. Knowing that this isn't something you can get wrong. It's just about noticing and observing. And some days the noticing and observing might be, I don't feel very much. And that's totally okay. Sometimes sensations are just subtle. Sometimes it takes a while to tune in, a while to develop that listening inside. But you can't get it wrong. It's just a journey. Come out of child's pose. And we'll work next with some 2-pose vignettes with sun salutations in between. You will need a blanket for some of it. You will also need the strap too. So getting your yoga strap or a scarf. Maybe. We'll see how far we get to. Then come stand at the short end of your mat. Inhale and come into chair pose. Arms go forward, hips go back. Knees are bent. Exhale to forward bend. Keeping the knees bent, relaxing the head forwards. Then come into plank. Inhale, walk the feet all the way back. Shoulders come over the wrists. Exhale, bring the knees to the floor and come down onto the floor. Inhale into a cobra. Exhale into a downward facing dog. So hands come into the shoulders, onto the hands and knees, and then the hips stretch up and back. Let's stay in downward facing dog for a few breaths. Maybe stretching into the back of the legs. Check your shoulders aren't too tense here. Widen the tops of the shoulders. Okay, now step your left foot forward. Stand up, and we'll come into warrior one. So in a standing position, have the left foot forward and the right foot back. You want to be facing towards the short end of your mat. Let's also do archer arms here. Find a strap and have it in your left hand. Inhale and take the left hand up, and then drop the left hand in between the shoulder blades. Exhale, take the right arm down and hold on with both hands on the strap. If you have any particular problems in the shoulders, or this just feels really bad in the shoulders, feel free to kind of leave parts of it out or change it. As you send your breath to the shoulder area, noticing, well, what do I feel? What physical sensation do I feel? Then release the strap. Next pose is easy twisting lunge. Keep your left foot forward, but bring your right knee down to the mat. If you want to put the blanket underneath your right knee, you could. So you've got left foot forward, right knee on the mat. Then bring your right hand down to the floor and take your left hand up in the air. Easy twisting lunge. Inhale and bring both shoulder blades away from the head. Exhale and relax the head to the side if that feels good in your neck. Inhale and bring the top hand down to the floor. Exhale and either come into plank or stand up. If you want to do the half sun salutation, take a deep breath in plank. Exhale, lower down to the floor. Inhale into a cobra. Move the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale into a downward dog. Hips are higher than the shoulders and the head. Other side. Step your right foot forward for warrior one with archer arms. Take the belt. So inhale and bend the right knee. Left leg is straight. Exhale, take the right arm up in the air, holding onto the belt, and then the left arm's going down. You can sort of edge the hands along the belt towards each other. You might even be able to catch the hands together. Noticing physical sensation. Release the belt, and then we'll do easy twisting lunge. Keep the right foot forwards, but bring the left knee down to the floor. Putting a blanket underneath the left knee if that feels good to you. Now inhale and sink the left hand down. Exhale, right arm comes up. breathing deeply so you can track feeling. When the breath is more shallow, there's less internal movement. And when the breath is deeper, there's a whole set of subtle internal movement and sensation that will arise. Make sure the shoulder blades are moving down the back, away from the head. Then bring that hand to the floor. And if you want to do the half sun salutation, inhale and come into plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Okay, next set of poses. Step the left foot forwards for heel to butt lunge. Take your right knee and have it on something padded, like a folded up blanket or a cushion. You definitely need a big layer of padding underneath the knee. And then you're reaching back with the right hand for the right foot, so you get a massive stretch in the front of the right thigh. Now, if that's not feeling appropriate for your knee, so say like the knee joint is hurting here, instead I want you to keep the foot down and just bring the hips forward. So you're still getting that opening in the thigh. If the knee feels okay, then exploring getting hold of the foot and then bringing the foot in. Either way, bring the hips forwards. Being aware of whatever sensation is around the front of the right thigh, front of the right hip. Then release the foot. Next thing we'll do is a lounge lunge. Take your left foot further forwards and then have your left hand on the left shin. Now your right hand comes down to the floor, goes a little bit forward and a little bit out to the right. Inhale, drop the hips forwards and down. Exhale, turn your chest towards the left knee. In lounge lunge, feel for relaxing the right hand side of the rib cage. It's kind of relaxing down towards the right arm, maybe towards the floor, not onto the floor, but just in that direction. Ease out of lounge lunge and come into plank, or just take a couple of breaths in between. Inhale, feeling steady in plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Heel to butt lunge. Inhale and take the other foot all the way forwards. So which foot have you just done? You've just done left foot. So right foot will come forwards. Left knee needs to be on a cushion or a blanket. Then if the knee joint on the left side is not feeling so good, then just take the hips forward. If the knee joint feels fine, then you're reaching with your left hand for the left foot. Heel to butt lunge. Let go of the foot, and then take your right foot a little further forward for lounge lunge. Inhale, take the right hand onto right shin, left hand on the floor, a little bit forward and a little bit out to the left. Exhale, let the hips come forwards and down, and then turn your chest so you're looking at the right knee. Also, really good question with physical sensation is, where do I feel it? Like, where do I actually feel this? Because sometimes we can be aware that we feel something, but there's actually not much detail. It's good to get into more detail. Like right now I can feel the front outside edge of my left thigh is getting quite a stretch, and I can also feel the inside of my right thigh too. But you might feel it somewhere different. And the aim is not to kind of be in the same sensation as somebody else. The aim is just to feel what you feel. Come out of that. And let's all stand up. I want to do a standing back bend with a roll or a cushion or a block now. So if you've got something like a fat cushion or a cushion you could roll up, that would work. Or a Forrest Yoga roll type prop. Something quite chunky that you can put between the thighs. I really like this way of doing a back bend because you can really control how far you come into it. And I always think the important thing with back bends is not how far you go, but doing them in a way that feels good in the lower back. Like if you're just going into a back bend and overbending and hurting the lower back, that's not going to be any use to you. You actually need a lot of containment and strength and length around the lower back area. So let's go into this bit by bit. Start with your feet. Inhale and activate the feet, spreading and lifting the toes. Exhale, squeeze your inner thighs onto the cushion. Feel the sitting bones curl downwards a little. Inhale, lift the whole rib cage up. Exhale, gather the belly in. Feel like the belly is supporting the lower back. Inhale, lift the chest now. Feel for finding arch in the upper back, but only so much as doesn't create pain in the lower back. Exhale, either have the chin tucked in, or if it feels totally fine to take the head back, you could have the head back, like if there's no issues in the neck. But if you've got any pain or certainly disc or vertebra issues in the neck, keep the chin tucked in. Feel how the whole body is working here. You really need the legs to be working, the belly to be working. Inhale and straighten up. Exhale, remove the cushion and chuck it to one side. Let's do chest open on the wall now. This is again something that's got warrior one leg. So let's do this first with a wall on the left-hand side. You could use a door, anything that's kind of you can stand next to. Inhale, step the left foot forward, right foot back. Exhale, bend the left knee. I'm about a foot away from the wall. I'm not right next to it. Inhale, take the left hand onto the wall behind you, about the same height as the shoulder, but you might need to bend the elbow, you might need to take it lower down, depending on what best suits your shoulder. Exhale, take your right hand onto the left collarbones and massage along the left collarbones, like underneath the left collarbones. Then come off the wall and change sides. Have the wall on the right-hand side, and now your right leg is forward, left leg is back. Inhale and place the right hand on the wall behind you. Exhale, take your left hand onto the area underneath your right collarbones and massage that area there. Noticing how you would label any sensation that you observe there. Then come off of the wall and stand up on the mat facing towards the long edge. To come into a forward bend now with neck traction. The feet will be parallel for this. Let me show you a couple of options for the hands. If you have long hair and your scalp is not sensitive, it can feel really nice to be holding on to 2 handfuls of hair from the top of the head. Just letting the arms relax here. I'm not pulling on the head, but the weight of the arms is gently pulling on my scalp and extending the neck. If that does not feel okay for you, a good alternative is you clasp the hands behind the back of the head instead. To come into a forward bend with the legs quite wide. And then either holding onto the hair or onto the back of the head. Long, unwinding breaths. Feeling whatever you feel. Letting the neck relax. And then let go of the head. Bring your hands to your hips. And slowly come up to standing. Heel toe your feet in towards the center. Then come and sit on your mat. Either sit in a cross-legged position with your left shin on top of the left shin in front of the right shin. Or if your hips feel flexible, you could do shoelace with the left foot on top of right knee. So either shoelace, or if that does not feel so good to your legs or knees, or hips. Cross-legged is good as well. So twisting shoelace or twisting cross-legged. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale and twist towards your right. And then come forwards a little. Maybe taking the fingertips or the hands or maybe even the elbows to the floor. Take a huge breath into the hip area. Exhale, softening around that area. Keep playing with that. Once you've felt the tension, can you soften it? Can you soften around it? Because what you're perceiving inside of yourself isn't someone else, isn't a different object, it's you. Aspects of yourself. And that consciousness is always moving. There's always the possibility of change. Letting the neck relax too, letting the shoulders relax. Taking 2 more really deep breaths into the hip area. Inhale and sit up. Exhale, change the legs over. Either sitting in cross-legged with the right shin in front, or doing shoelace with the right foot on top. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist to the left, and then come forwards. Letting the head relax. Let your tongue relax too. And then breathing in a steady way that helps you to encounter whatever tension there is around the hips. Observing how there are subtle shifts even through the arc of each breath. And then sit all the way back. Uncross your legs. And give them a shake. And then as you shake and wobble the legs, notice how that kind of moving sensation can be quite different to static sensation. Just have a go at wobbling the legs and enjoying that movement. Letting that movement be as free as possible. And wobble the arms as well. Wobble the whole body. Great. Let's come into child's pose again. Take a blanket or cushion to put underneath your head. And you could either have the arms forwards or arms next to your legs. Whatever feels most comfortable to you right now. Having the arms relaxed. Making your breath as big as you can. And tracking inside the subtlety of that experience. The subtlety of your breath, of your observation. Noticing any sensations of warmth or coolness. Noticing places of tightness or openness. Noticing places that feel still and places where you feel subtle movement. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and press your hands into the floor to slowly lift out of child's pose. And then make your way into Shavasana. So set yourself up now, whatever way you'll be most comfortable to rest. If you've got cushions or blankets, you could use them to make yourself comfortable. The classical way to do this is to lie flat on the floor with the feet a little wider than the hips, feet rolling out, arms a little way away from the hips with the palms up. But if it feels better to do something different with the arms, or for some people having the knees bent and the knees resting in against each other, that can feel a lot better to the low back. Like, choose whatever works for you. And if you want to do something different for Shavasana, like take your legs at the wall or have your legs resting on a sofa or lie on your side, feel free to set yourself up however will work for you. If you're lying on your back, let's do one thing. Take both hands behind your head. Inhale, lift the head just a centimetre or two off the floor. Exhale, pull the back of the head away from your shoulders so the neck gets really long. So back of the head is pulling away from the shoulders. Use your hands. And then with the neck long, just place your head back down on the floor or onto your head support. With your eyes closed, noticing physical sensation, whether it feels really obvious, whether it feels more subtle. Just welcoming in all that information that your body has, all those signals. Recognizing that they all have value. They're all important. They're part of your body's wisdom. And the longer you spend learning the language of your body, the better you'll understand all those big sensations, all those small sensations. The more you'll get to know your inner landscape, your inner world. Resting in Shavasana. feel the sensation of the ebb and flow of your natural breath. Whether that's moving through the nose or the mouth. And then make some small movements with the toes and the fingers. Just observing that. And then move into some bigger stretches, however you want to stretch right now. Staying with that sense of your body, that internal feeling sense. And then ease up to sitting. Or stay on the floor if you want to. So thank you for doing the class today. Keep playing with this sense of physical sensation and what do I feel in my body? And how do I observe that? How do I track that? How do I label that? Because it's a really useful skill and it's really helpful in being able to ground oneself and feel centered and to become better friends with your body, which is an awesome thing to do.